taking back the crown. I'm all dressed up and naked. I see what's mine and take it. Keepers, losers, reapers. Oh yeah, the crown. So close I can taste it. I see what's mine and take it. Keepers, losers, reapers. Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. Greetings everyone, it is me, the Ninja Reviewer here. Time for another exciting review of the one and only One Piece episode 820. Whoa, wait, yeah. Monkey D. Luffy right here. And I do apologize for the way I am right now. As you can tell, I am still a bit sick, so thank you all for, waiting patiently for the review. My bad, it's pretty late. But when it comes to me being sick, when it comes to that, the review won't be... I mean, granted, I'm a lot better... Well, okay, not 100% better. Maybe half better. Because right now, I still have a little bit of congestion here and there. But maybe by like tomorrow or whatever, I should be fine by the week. And what sucks is that another mini direct that Nintendo was announced, so it's like, shit. So now I gotta make sure I'm a little better for that, but we'll see. Hopefully I could do a live reaction to that. If not, I don't know. Well, that's what I heard as a rumor, so I don't really know. But anyways, the One Piece episode 821 review. So with this week's episode, we see that Luffy is finally just roaming around the castle, and he actually fights the brother of I know it's like Cadenza, I believe. Yeah, Cadenza, but he fights his brother, which I forget his name, but it's kind of whatever. So okay, so when it comes to this episode, let's just get on to it. So we find out that like Chopper and Carrot actually find a way to actually get through each of the mirrors to actually save Pedro before Tamago was actually believed with his final transformation. And for some reason, this final transformation looked completely fucking weird as shit. It was some kind of fucking chicken thing, and I'm just like, what the hell? And I remember, from the other episode, it turns out that every time, like, he actually cuts, like, if, part of his body gets cut in half, he always, like, makes sure that he transforms into something that's, more into something stronger. So his final form has been revealed, and it's this weird retarded looking chicken thing. I'm just like, what the hell? So that was kind of weird, but at least Pedro was able to escape in time before anything happened. So while that happened, he found out because of the mirrors that Luffy, not Luffy, Carrot and Chopper pretty much got him from the mirror world, and now they're on their way to actually catch up to Nami. What happened is Nami was defending herself while she was trying to catch up to Luffy, whereas with Jinbei, apparently by accident, she thunder shocks Chopper with the thunder tempo. I thought that was pretty funny. It's like, oh my god, Chopper, my bad, dude. I didn't really mean, for that to happen. My bad, homie. It's all good. So, didn't really mean for that to happen. That was actually kind of a funny scene. So, we have that going. Meanwhile, we have Luffy, where he actually finally goes and fights Cabaletta, which I believe is the dude that's the brother of Cadenza, I believe. Yeah, Cadenza, that's his name. And honestly, this fight, don't worry folks, this fight was not in the manga whatsoever. However, though, in the manga, Oda pretty much skipped most of the stuff in the manga, and it only just showed up to where Luffy was, where way after this, where Luffy, finally, we'll meet up Sanji later on. The thing is, when it comes to this stuff, Oda pretty much skipped all the stuff. Like, he skipped mainly all this within the actual manga, but here in the anime, we actually get to see more of, Luffy's struggle. Now, keep in mind, people are like, oh, but this dude's pretty much father tier. Why would Luffy even have trouble against someone here that's like all screwed the anime? This is why I hate it so much, because like a father character like that should look... Well, keep in mind, he's not really father tier. Like, he's kind of above average tier, because the dude knows a lot about hockey. So even though he's like a below, he is sort of like below that, really below low ranks, but Luffy, yeah, I get it. Luffy could have taken him out a little more easier because obviously, if it wasn't for the fact that Luffy was hungry and he, needed some food in his system, he would have definitely be able to actually take him out easier, but he had to actually struggle to actually fight him. Even though it kind of looked like Toei just made it look like a little bit too easy. Easy meaning like Luffy was like giving all of his armor haki when clearly he could have just not had that much strength to begin with and just be like, well, that again, Luffy is pretty wild. Luffy is the kind of character who would, which is weird. So I don't know what kind of tier that the Big Mom pirates are, but I'm pretty sure he's like decent tier or at least solid tier at best. So which is easily why that this character can match up to Luffy. And listen, I get it. I know a lot of people don't really care for characters like these. It's like, oh my god, like this dude looks like a father tier, like, so it's like, what the hell. But when it comes to this dude, so even though for a filler, I actually really enjoy this one. I mean, yeah, so it's like, it's kind of weird, but I do know, yeah, but I wait, for what I remember, hold on. Oh wait, I remember now. In the manga, he just fucks him up easily, but in here, it's like, why do we have to have like an extended fight? Which is kind of weird, because I think I remember in the manga, there was like a panel, but that again, that was just one panel. And again, Oda didn't really show the full extent of that fight, because obviously most of the times, he did skip it. So it makes sense on why they're actually showing the full fight right here. And this guy, he's not really like father tier in many ways possible. He's really not like, he's like solid tier at best. And he was actually able to catch up to Luffy. So that was pretty interesting. So for a fight like this, when it comes to Luffy, destroying Cabaletta, that was actually a really cool scene. I actually really did like that fight a lot. That was actually pretty cool. So that was a pretty cool action sequence that we actually got. Then we find out that Luffy was able to actually find Reiju. And because Reiju pretty much snuck him in through the door, and pretty much Reiju pretty much knows everything that Luffy's already telling him about what's going on. So Reiju pretty much led him the way, because she already knows the way. She knows the way to actually go to where Sanji is, or where at least where he should be getting. At least that should be the case. So yeah. So anyway, so that's pretty much. Then at the very end, we see that Luffy finally makes his way outside, and he knows the further direction at the meeting place where he's supposed to say that I'm gonna meet you there no matter what happens. I will be here. I will go on a hunger strike. So that's the reason why he wants to go to that meeting place where he fought against Sanji at. And of course, people are looking at him like, oh my god, like what is this guy doing? This has got to be the enemy. And it's like, and then of course everybody else finds him, like the actual guards and whatnot, etc. So it looks like Luffy could be in a bit of trouble here. So that's pretty much it for this episode right here when it comes to One Piece episode 821. Overall, yeah, when it comes, and then of course we have this one scene where Sanji is pretty much thinking about, it's like, look, I already went back on my word. There's no way I could turn back now, and like stuff like that. So Sanji is still having, his guilt regrets of what he did with Luffy, etc. So yeah. So anyways, so that's pretty much it for this episode of the One Piece WA. Overall, if I had to rate this episode, there was a lot of stuff that happened in this episode, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of stuff that happened when it comes to Luffy and his fight, the way Pedro and him escaped. We have the whole thing with Reiju pretty much explaining what's going on, to Luffy, etc, etc. Yeah. Yeah, so overall, yeah, when it comes to this episode, I guess it's a 4.5. I guess a 4.5 out of 5. It's a great episode, even though I think there was a little bit too much stuff going on. Because the pacing was all over the place. I mean, there was some really cool stuff, but the pacing was just all over the place, at least for me. So if I were to give it anything, probably a 4.5 out of 5, I guess. Maybe like a great episode. I guess, maybe, yeah, probably a 4.5. I can't really think of any other score to give the episode, to be perfectly honest with you. Because, I'm a little sick and I can't really think of anything else on the top of my head. Was it better than last week's episode? I would say no. I would say last week's was pretty much the shit. I would say last week's was actually pretty damn good. So yeah, actually, I think I really enjoyed the episode a lot. I think my only complaint was there was just too much stuff going on. I think that's pretty much what was my main complaint. There's just way too much stuff going on at once to actually keep it in perfect balance. So that, I guess that's why I give it a 4.5. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below of this week's episode of One Piece. I'll see you guys next week for episode 820. Well, this week actually, I should say, for 822. There's still manga chapter next week, so that won't be to the following week. So yeah, don't forget, rate, comment, subscribe as always. Click on that bell to join the squad, boys. Notifications, social media plugins, gamer tags, you know the drill. Peace, soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky's the limit. And manga fans, keep supporting what you watch. I'm out.